Welcome everybody to another Strictly Versus episode. Oh my goodness me, I'm actually really nervous for this episode because my god, it has been a bit of a stressful week for me. Being on a holiday park 6 days straight can sometimes be very, very draining. Like honestly, just seeing the inside of a venue for the first for like a good few days, even that is mentally draining. You just need to make sure you get yourself in the right headspace for it. But I had a good day off today. Went to the Wells and Walsingham Light Railway, which I've wanted to visit since I was a kid and never had the chance. It is absolutely beautiful. Apparently, it's the longest narrow gauge railway in the whole country, and it is bloody beautiful to ride on. It's just such a smooth ride the whole way. It's wonderful. But yes, it is time for us to get back to the lovely Strictly Versus, and I have my gang here with me. Edo is here, fantastic, lovely to see you, Edo. Ash, absolutely fantastic. Ethan's here as well. Angelina's just arrived, brilliant. Right, let's get everybody in here. Somebody just ring me, what the hell? That was weird. Hello.
Hello. That was a bit close. That was a bit close.
I panicked for a second there. I couldn't see you. I thought Instagram had glitched again.
No, for some reason, when I join an Instagram live, it joins with the back camera. And so because it's closed with my phone,
okay.
And then when I turn it round, it joins really zoomed in.
Right, okay.
It goes from blackness to like an entire eye.
Weird. I've accepted Ethan and Edo in, but again, they're not popping in for some reason. I might have to cancel theirs and send the request out myself.
Bizarre.
No, Instagram's doing a thing again. Right, I'm going to have to cancel their requests and... Right, Ethan and Edo, can you guys hop out for a second and then come back in, and then I'll add you myself. No, let me do it, Edo, because then if you accept my request, it should... Right, invite, there we go. Right, that should work. Try that. There we go.
There we go.
Fantastic. What you got there? Is that a rainbow
This
frog?
is my frog gay.
Oh, lovely.
My little mascot.
So cute.
Who knitted the toad?
Basically, Brad from Big Brother, the one that is autistic and LGBTQ plus, he was posting about them, and one of his friends was making them on a little emporium. So I was like, I need one.
Beautiful.
Hey,
Ethan.
It's a very cute toad.
Thank you. He's going to be coming everywhere with me.
Cute.
Hi, Tash. Hi.
Very cute. I've got to say, can I just tell you guys something real quick before we get going? So,
Yeah.
I don't know why, but when I went to the railway earlier, I live streamed it, and for some reason, all I had in my head was the theme from Wallace and Gromit.
That's funny because that's one
I was like, I'm having my own grand day out. It feels brilliant.
So you didn't get Thomas Hangers in, but you had Wallace and Gromit, and I like.
Love that.
Yeah, I don't know why.
That is perfect. I feel like Ed, you're the sort of person that needs your own little running theme tune. Like a theme tune, like going to the supermarket, going on the train, going bird spotting.
Yeah,
I swear to God, but then all of a sudden I thought Charleston to the Wallace and Gromit theme.
They should have done that.
How good would that be?
Right.
Could you imagine?
Talking of dances, I thought of one earlier while I was at uni. I googled it, and I googled it, and I can't find if anyone's danced with it. They might have done it in an earlier series, not on the internet. Somebody needs to do a tango to "Objection" by Shakira, because it's objection brackets tango.
Funny, they've used it. Yeah, because they've used it for samba, haven't they? They use it in that group dance.
Yeah, it was part of a group
Did
dance.
they?
And the only thing I thought about, it was a little chunk of it, like not much of it, a little chunk of it. But I remember because they used it for a tango-inspired dance as part of the opening, like Welcome to the Cruise show on Cunard. And the girl that was singing it reminded me a lot of one of the guest singers they had on Strictly for one of the musicals weeks a few years ago. And I was like, oh, they need to use that on Strictly. I mean, it literally says something I'm tired of being in this triangle, too busy, got dizzy, dancing tango.
Yeah.
It literally says, got dizzy, dancing tango. Like, you need to use that on Strictly.
They used it it was the group dance with the judges in 2019. The judges won in the launch show, and then they also, do you remember they also did the dance to it in Burn the Floor?
Yes, it was definitely in Burn the Floor.
I saw that.
No, if you saw Burn the Floor 2022, like not the reunion, the other one.
Oh, no, sadly, I wasn't. This is the thing, that was still before I had the time on my hands to actually go to the shows.
No,
so yeah,
all
the money for that matter.
Yeah, no one heard.
Yeah,
me,
I only got to go because 2022 is when I was in second year at uni. So I had I didn't have any important exams to prepare for or accommodation to find or like stuff like that. And so we had a lot more holiday, so I was able to go then.
No one heard from me, but I think Burn the Floor are hoping to tour again next year. So hopefully, because I really want everyone to see it because it's one of the best shows, if not the best show I've ever seen. Like both Reunion and Burn the Floor, it's just unreal.
Brilliant.
Anyway.
Brilliant. I hope that this year they stick a little tribute in there to Robin.
Yeah.
They should.
Sorry, I've just realised I'm very glad I'm booked to get my hair recoloured on
Okay,
on
fair enough.
I'm completely that's not look. I'm completely two-tone.
I need hi Gemma, hi Ella.
That is not a good look.
Hello to. Thanks a lot to Gemma, Ash, and Nee for sticking with us. We're about to get into the dances.
Yeah, let's go with it.
Now, obviously, I set you guys a bit of a challenge this week. I promise I'm going to make it a little bit easier next week. I
think I found the majority of them in the end. I watched them. I think I watched them all.
So I'll explain for the audience what I did this week. So I wanted to go right back to the beginning to when the majority of us really started sort of noticing Strictly, which was 2011. And obviously some of those, I know, Edo, some of those, and I sort of, because really I wanted to sort of get the hard bit out of the way first and then we can focus on more of the dances that we remember. But it was very hard to choose who to pit against who for this. Obviously, from that series, you have to pick Harry Judd. But then which of the other two do you put against him? Do you pick Chelsea or Jason? And in the end, I went with Jason Donovan. So we've got Harry Judd versus Jason. The thing is, I actually had a little look through the average board. If you took away Chelsea's last two scores that she got for her rumba and quickstep that she did in the final, she was actually 1 point behind Jason on the average boards. It was very, very close in that final.
It was very.
It would be very naughty to say that, very truthful to say that I was watching Jason's dances to the minute that you started the live.
It's fine. I was as well. I got through like half of them and then I'd forgotten to watch the other half, so I had to really quickly nip through the rest of them before we started. It's fine.
We'll just reminisce and stuff.
It's fine. It's all right.
Is it bad that I got really distracted watching Neighbours halfway through watching Jason Donovan?
Come on!
I got distracted by Neighbours. Yeah, that's Kylie Minogue. Yeah, she's also been in Neighbours. And that's oh my God, do not get Jason Donovan and Jason Bell mixed up, dear me. That is not, no. You're with the complete wrong ends of the world. You've got America and Australia mixed up.
Yeah, and they've also got very different dancing abilities, I think.
Different backgrounds, yeah.
Let's not go there.
One was a COVID year, one was not a COVID year.
Yes, one was very definitely not a COVID year.
2020 Strictly was a very unusual.
Justice for Luba. We need partners for Luba.
Yeah, her and Adam.
Yeah.
I'm glad that she.
Anyway, let's get all these neurodivergent brains back on track.
Some of us have places to go and things to be and all that bullshit. So, right, so we're kicking it. So this week, this just shows how far back we're going, because this was like the tail end of them still using the two dance styles per week in like the early weeks. Yes, Edo.
Wasn't this also back when we only had 14 contestants?
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
The-
And it
and
was
that was back when they used to go to Wembley for a week.
they did that instead of Blackpool, and then Blackpool was the finale.
yeah,
The final, yeah.
that was. I still don't know why they did that, but fair enough.
No.
But this was a weird 2010 and 2011 were a weird 2 years for me because firstly they'd introduced the themes back in, but they took the dance off away again. And I didn't like that because it meant that we lost really good dances early on. And I still, to this day, do not understand how people kept voting Nancy Dell'Olio through over really good dancers.
Yeah.
Like, she survived.
Sorry.
Sorry?
Do you remember? I was going to say, do you remember in the semi-final as well? They had a double elimination with Holly Valance and who was the other one?
I still don't like the way that they did that. I didn't like that they had a double elimination, but
No.
hey ho, it was the way that it was.
That was 10 years ago. No, it wasn't 10 years ago. It was 13 years ago. Oh my god.
I was just so glad that was that in the semi-finals the public finally saw Sense in 2010 and kicked Gavin Henson out because I hated him.
Yeah, 2011 was my first year.
Yeah. Anyways, let us get into it. So, obviously we had Cha-Cha-Cha in week 1. And I've got to say, 2010 and 2011, Cha-Cha standards dropped quite considerably because the highest score that we had both years was 32. So, yeah, not great. But let us get into it. So I'm going to start off with Harry because he went first. Now, Aliona this year, in that particular year, really leaned into how much the ladies would probably like Harry's, these bad boys. Yes.
Yeah. His biceps and his triceps, if we're being scientific.
Yes, and the chest as well.
Pectorals.
But his cha-cha-cha, before we had Dave Myers, we had an actual decent cha-cha-cha to move like Jagger. And this was good for the most part. It was very intense. Good arm placement, which I thought was nice. Like that's one good thing that you can always have down right from the off is decent arm placement. The main issue with it is it's very mechanical. You can sort of see the steps going around in his head, and he had decent leg placement and sort of good hip action at the beginning, but yeah, it was, again, you could sort of see him thinking through it and the steps coming as they went along despite how difficult the choreo was. So that's my only issue. That was my main issue with Harry at the beginning looking back. Jason, on the other hand, I absolutely love this cha-cha-cha. Like, Give Me Some Lovin' by the Blues Brothers rendition specifically of Give Me Some Lovin'. Brilliant. Very, very loose, nice feet placement, good hip action. But he had the opposite problem. I felt like he didn't use his arms enough.
No.
And his choreo I thought was a little bit simpler, but slightly more effective in its simplicity, but very... for me, fully deserved being the highest scoring cha-cha of the night.
Sorry, 1 second. I've just been bitten by an insect, and I think I've had a reaction to it. So I'm just going to go and do something about that. My hand's going very, very red.
Yeah, medical.
That's fine. I'll let you do that real quick. Ethan, what have you got to say?
I was going to say, Harry, I felt like the song suited him and very much. Very natural leadership skills, which I'm like, for week 1, Mel to them, it's always impressive when you see like them being able to lead.
Yeah.
Absolutely love him, but his performance awareness is, and he is looking down the entire time, which my dance teacher would be absolutely shouting at me.
Yeah.
Down. And it needs to be sharper. For Jason, I put obviously naturally a performer. He also had good leading skills. It was a bit skippy.
A little bit here and there, yeah. Especially on that section of like where they did like the rondes with the leg going into the cha-cha step. That was a bit skippy, but still quite good for the most part. Edo, what do you think?
I'm sort of on par with Ethan. I feel like, yeah, Jason was not consistently good, but he started off pretty well. And I feel like that Harry was more of a journey contestant. He got better and better and better as the weeks went on. That's what I'd say. But he was very. He had the like showmanship and the confidence, which was good, but he just lacked a little bit of like interaction with like he was sort of in his own bubble, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I wanna just preface this as well. The one thing that Christina has explicitly said multiple times over is that when he started, Jason Donovan could not dance. So many people will probably assume that he could, being a musician. Jason Donovan could not dance. So for him to bring out a cha-cha-cha like that in week 1, that is bloody impressive.
Agree.
So yeah. But I do have to say as well, you could tell that the public were on his side right from the off, because the minute Bruce said his name at the end of that first show, they just erupted before the VT had even started. So yeah. Angelina.
Hello, I'm back. I've sorted my hand. But yes, I'm in agreement with everything that's already been said. I definitely think that Harry's performance was a lot more nervous. It was a lot of eyes to the floor. And again, it felt very mechanical. You could see all of the workings of his of the routine. You could see all the breakdowns of the steps, whereas Jason's performance felt a lot more bam, I'm here from the get-go.
Oh yes.
Yeah, he had come such a long way just by week 1. And it felt a lot more of yes, the choreography was simpler, but it was a lot cleaner. Yes, he definitely could have done more with his arms. At times it looked like someone had stuck 2 sticks into the side of him and he didn't know they were there. But I definitely felt it was a more confident performance. And I think for week 1, I definitely think it was the better performance of the 2.
Oh, without a doubt. Sorry, Jax, box of broadcasts. What's that? You're going to have to post a link.
He's being silly.
Oh, right.
No, box of broadcasts is a thing. We get it through.
Yeah.
I got it through Keel. It's a streaming service where you can access old episodes of TV and of TV shows. It's free. I'll link you to it afterwards.
Okay. All right. We might find something on there. We might not. You never know. But yeah. Right. So let's go to the vote then. Who are we voting for the first one? I say Jason.
Jason.
Jace.
Ethan. Oh, sorry, Edo.
Sorry.
Oh, Jason.
Yeah.
Unanimous for Jace.
So first one to Jason. Lovely. Right. Now, again, what are the odds that again they still get the same dance in week 2? So we have foxtrots. Now, obviously, the second week we know it's not going to be perfect.
This was the week that I started watching. Yes,
but on YouTube, Jax, we just found all the stuff on YouTube. We're not rewatching the entire series. We're just looking for dances.
So yeah, you just type in the name of the couple, that or the celebrity, and then Strictly Come Dancing. So, for example, Jason Donovan, Strictly Come Dancing.
We're just dance detectives. We're secret agents.
Yes, we are in a sense.
But yes, continue on with the foxtrot.
Let's continue on. Right, so I'm going to talk about Jason's first because he went first that week.
Yeah.
Now, I just want to say this right out of the gate. The theme of this dance, I love a good Jessica Rabbit theme. And personally, I actually think I prefer Julie London's version of Why Don't You Do Right to Peggy Lee's original version. Don't know why, just thought I'd put that out there. But honestly, Christina's leg coming out from behind the curtain, Jason like fully acting like he's just chilling in the club, and then seeing this amazing woman step out on stage for the first time and being like full on seduced, and then going into holds. I just love it. The foot, and on a technical note, footwork I thought was pretty good. hold for week 2 wasn't bad, but looking back on it now, I could see that his frame was slightly dropped, and his head placement did need a bit of work, and there were a couple of ropey turns, lost body contact on occasion. Again, it's week 2, but for a foxtrot to be at a standard like this on week 2, it is pretty amazing. But the fact that it's just great that he is able to act his way through all the dances so well. It just brings it to life, and that's why I love it so much. Whereas Harry, again, exact same technical issues as before. The whole thing felt too controlled. He was stepping way too much into the floor, and his frame sort of looked good, but again, he was looking down too much, and his head was dropping as well, which then made the line of the dance, look bad. And yeah, it was just far too much of a nervous performance, and it was clear that he just wasn't finding himself at that point. So yeah, he just needed to warm up a little bit more. Edo, what did you think?
I agree 100% with what you're saying. I think that Jason had the confidence, Harry had the like closed off sort of vibe to begin with. And I feel like it took him longer. It's basically what I said before. It took him longer to come out of his shell, but I think, yeah, the styling of the foxtrots were amazing.
Yeah. Ethan?
I was going to say, let's bring this back. First of all, Jason's frame throughout the entire series was not great. I was going to say, yeah, his frame and his head needed work. But I mean, I love the acting. I love the performance. This is why I love it when like we get people like people who've done musical theatre, because they know how to do a performance like this. Harry, I thought he had decent lines. His frame was fairly okay. His head was in the wrong place, and he just needed to relax.
Yeah.
Wait,
sorry, you keep going.
I was saying, it's obviously funny because Harry Judd did a Children in Need special or something like that before he'd done Strictly. I don't remember him doing it, but when I've seen that he did do one, and I'm like, you think that he'd be more comfortable, but obviously he's done like dance before. Yeah.
I think being there for the Children in Need special and actually getting into competitive mode can actually be two very different things.
Yeah.
So I think he wasn't quite comfortable, because I remember especially Chris Hollins had an absolutely fantastic first couple of weeks, and then week 3 came around when both groups of celebrities came together, and all of a sudden it was like, oh shit, we're really getting into competitive mode now, and he just panicked.
Yeah.
So yeah,
we saw it with Matt Goss as well, didn't we?
Yeah. Right, Angelina.
Yeah, again, I completely agree with all that was said. Jason's frame was a little bit off all series. I noticed that watching his boring performances, that there was something out with his frame each time he did little things, but they were noticeable. Again, I definitely preferred the concept of Jason's performance and his ability to tell stories in. Brilliant. Fantastic guy. I mean, I saw him playing the Pharaoh in Joe's Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
I wish I'd been there to see that. I really do.
Alexandra Burke was the narrator. I particularly went for Alexandra Burke, and then got hassled by a load of screaming middle-aged women at stage door. It was very funny. All these middle-aged women that were like literally like fangirling that hard.
We love Jason Donovan. We love Jason.
The thing is, he didn't even come out. He was in a taxi with Alexandra Burke. She was 8.5 months pregnant, so somebody needed to make some she got back to her hotel because she was 8.5 months pregnant. But that's besides the point. Again, Harry Judd again still seemed incredibly nervous. I didn't know what he was looking at, because I was like, he was looking down to the point where I thought, if he looks down any further, he's going to fall straight on his nose. You can't see where he's going. And how can you lead when you're not looking where you're going.
Exactly.
You can't. And so some of his leading was lost a little bit, unfortunately.
This is the thing, you know, as Len said, there was nothing terrible about it, but there was nothing great about it either.
Exactly.
So it was
why I find it hard to find things to actually say, because it sort of happened, it ticked the boxes, it wasn't a complete car crash, and it wasn't I'm going to jump out of my chair and scream from the top of the Empire State Building good. It kind of just went, hi, I'm a Foxtrot, goodbye, nice to see you.
Yes, exactly. So, yeah. Right, we've discussed it. Now about the vote. Yeah. I vote for Jason again. Angelina?
I also vote for Jason.
Edo?
Jason.
Ethan?
Yeah, Jason.
Yeah, fair enough.
Is it just me, but things are jumping, or is it just my phone?
It's a little bit jumpy here.
Yeah, I've turned my internet off and I'm using my data because for some reason it's not liking the Wi-Fi today.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Not just me, okay.
Right.
It's all right.
This is where we have a split in between weeks now, because this is weird. This is where it started. We started to notice the sort of diverge in where Strictly was going, because week 3, all of a sudden, now we're into one unlearned dance already. So yeah, a bit of a jump, but still. So week 3 and week 9. No, sorry, not the week 9. Week 8. We had the jives. Now, I'm going to be perfectly honest. I had issues with both these jives for separate reasons. So Harry did his in what was then Broadway week, which is weird because that's like the complete opposite of how we're doing it now. But fair enough. But Harry did his.
Yeah.
Sorry, Edo.
Didn't Jason? Harry do his in Wembley? No, Jason. Sorry.
No, Jason did his in Wembley. Yeah.
And to wake me up before you go, I remember it.
Yes. And I'll be perfectly honest, I actually really love Broadway Week because we really saw a lot of very good concepts to do on Strictly for the first time. But, and I still love Russell Grant's Foxtrot to Don't Rain on My Parade. He just looks like a big ray of sunshine. It's brilliant.
He just looked like he was completely loving his life, didn't he?
Yeah. But this is where I feel like introducing the concept suddenly threw the pros for a loop. Either that or Leona just didn't care, because there was a lot of messing about in this jive. There was a lot of...
It seemed like she hadn't watched Grease, but just went, oh, it sounds like a cool concept, I'll have that. And didn't really know what to do with it once she got it. Yeah,
there were a lot of sort of rock and roll sort of moves in there. A little bit of swing kind of stuff going on.
Yeah.
But there was the smallest section of kicks in a jive I think I've ever seen in my life. There was like 2 bars of kicks, and then they immediately went back to doing other stuff again, like just like waving arms and that run around on the floor that he did and all of that stuff. And yet they still get 8s and 9s for it. So... yeah, but this was the first week where we properly saw Harry loosen up. So at least there's something to it. And then we get Jason's jive at Wembley. A lot more content in it. But why the hell did Christina put lifts in it?
That was bizarre.
You just don't put lifts in a jive.
It suddenly went from a jive routine to a rock and roll routine, because you can lift and you throw people around. And so it kind of went, oh, hang on. What style have we diverged into here? Are we doing rock and roll? Are we doing swing? Are we doing Linkin Pop? What the hell?
Yeah, it's like,
and then
we're in Wembley, we need to impress everyone and make it even more wow, but it was already going to be wow enough.
Yeah, and then aside from that, we had the unfortunate incident where Jason forgot what he was doing because he got overwhelmed and lost the kick section, which is a real shame because I think if it hadn't been, he would have got 9s across the board, but I don't know. But can I just say something about Wembley? Very weird song choices for that week.
That was a good jive. It's a good jive. I mean, it's a good jive song for Jason, but other song choices were weird, weren't they?
Yeah. So let's just go through it. We had salsa to Let Me Entertain You. That one I didn't mind. I thought that sort of worked. Tango to Relax by Frankie Goes to Hollywood. All right, that one I get. Quick Step to
The BBC could never get away with that now.
No.
Relax.
Quick Step to Valerie. Okay, very good. Samba to Come On Eileen. Salsa to I'm Still Standing. And Samba
hurt my brain.
Samba to Spice Up Your Life? Like what? Like,
yeah, there was some very strange ones going on.
Guys, and we have to point out that we had the iconic Russell Grant coming out of the cannon.
Yes. I mean, Jive to Reach for the Stars. Still gutted that we have not had another Jive to Reach for the Stars since then. But yeah, yes, Ethan.
An iconic moment though, Russell Grant coming out of that cannon.
Yes, Ethan.
I was going to say, I've done Jive to Reach a comp before and won. So.
Oh, well done, buddy.
Reach for the Stars, and you got to the stars.
Yeah.
But yeah, the one that really didn't make sense to me was the salsa to I'm Still Standing.
Yeah.
Like, because Craig's saying, like, it didn't have a groove. I'm like, how the hell are you supposed to get a groove to a dance that isn't a salsa beat? Like, give this lad a break.
Yeah, it was weird.
But anyways.
Honestly.
But anyways, moving on to the jives. Angelina, you go first this time.
But yeah, I agree with what you've said. I'm not sure. As I love the film Grease. Olivia Newton-John.
Yeah, just getting a tissue. I'll be right back.
Right. But I don't know. But half of Harry's jive was not jive. It was whatever the hell that was. Like some of it I got, like the running round on the floor and that. Was giving the John Travolta in the film. A lot of it did come out of the film, but there was a lot of messing around going on and a lot of other stuff and like the kick section was like 2 seconds long.
Yeah.
And then we had Jason's jive, which was in week 8. So generally speaking, it was going to be the better dance technically because it was later in the competition. And unfortunately, he did forget the kick section, which is a real shame because he was doing so well. But I don't know what was going on with the lifts. It suddenly transitioned from jive into rock and roll or swing because she was being thrown around everywhere. And I have to say, I think the splits were Aliona's signature move. I'm going to put that out there.
She really likes doing splits.
I mean, then again, I can't really talk because that's also my signature move.
Yeah. Anyways.
So, yes.
Yeah.
Can we have more splits on Strictly, please and thank you?
Yeah.
That's me signed off.
Ethan, what did you think?
I was going to say, you can tell Harry's so much more confident as soon as he comes out in this jive.
Definitely.
And like he's really in character, which is like for someone who's not really done acting before, I was like, that's pretty impressive. But it needed more actual jive. Jason, I loved the choreo, loved the beginning, but it's a bit floppy as a jive, and he messed up, and I don't like it when people mess up and look. I know obviously it's not, but he just looks like a lost puppy, and I was like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will just add in as well. The one part of Harry's jive that I didn't mind was the hand jive section because that's actually a part of Grease.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That I didn't mind, and the running round on the floor. John Travolta does that in the film when they're at the prom scene.
Sweet,
so, I didn't mind that.
Right. Edo.
I'm going to disagree with you guys. I think that Harry had the characterization of Danny Zuko very well. He did that very good. And, like, it was great that he got into character and had the, like, sophistication, the suaveness and, like, the character. But as you say, it lacked a bit of content, but that's not his fault. It's more the choreography end of things. And I think that Jason's great song choice for a jive. That one actually works. But as you say, I think it's a shame that he got lost in his kicks. It meant that he sort of lost his energy a little bit, and it sort of affected the overall energy of the dance, if that makes sense.
Mm.
But it's like it is a memorable dance that I can still remember watching, like as an 8-year-old.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's memorable for the wrong reasons, kind of.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I just remember the music. To be honest, that's basically why I remember it.
yeah, I do love "Wake Me Up Before You Go Go."
I preferred Bobby's, and that's just not me being biased, but it is also me being biased.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, shall we vote?
Indeed.
So I honestly don't know where to go with this one because there's things about both dances that I didn't really like, but on this occasion, I actually think I'm going to go with Harry. Ethan,
I'll go Harry.
Edo.
You know what? I think Harry as well, because he kept in sync and had the energy the whole way through.
Angelina.
Well, I'm outnumbered by the guys, but so it doesn't matter what I say. But I would go with Jason. Yeah, that was
Fair
a tongue
enough.
twister.
Fair enough.
Well, because like if you think about Week 8 jives now, it's so like the standards has gone up and up over the years.
Yeah. It's been, like, honestly, even now, I think Jill Halfpenny's jive still stands the test of time.
It's still standing.
Yeah. I don't really think any of the dances from the first series will ever stand the test of time, because I watched Natasha and Brendan Samba recently, and by this first ever series of Strictly Standards, it's great. By a lot of the ones that you saw in Series 2, they just completely blew it out of the water. So, yeah.
I do think, though, Natalie Gomedi would have absolutely smashed her jive.
Yeah. Justice for Natalie. Anyways.
Yeah. I'm just going to say I'm still sad we never saw AJ's show dance. I'm still bitter about that.
Yes, that's still sad.
This day I'm bitter.
Is it bad that I kind of wish that had happened before the semi-final and Reese could have gone through instead?
Yeah, because I think
Indeed.
it would have been less sad to watch.
Yeah. Anyways, right. This is the one that I'm rather excited, because I have very different feelings about both dances next. So we have the tango next. Now, Harry's tango. First thing, Aliona, WTF. This was not a tango. This was a load of erotic poses with the most minimal amount in hold possible.
Wait, remind me of the song. What was it again?
It was Psycho Killer by Talking Heads.
Now, as much as I do like the Talking Heads, you can probably tell I have a very eclectic music taste thanks to my family.
Yes.
What on earth happened?
I don't know. And this is what bugs me about Aliona's choreography sometimes. Like, sometimes she just pushes the envelope enough. This time, she just threw the envelope in the bin.
Literally, it was like, girl, what were you smoking when you came up with it?
But it's, Len rightfully called her out on it. Alicia gave it a 10 wrongfully, I think. This routine did not...
Alicia seemed to have her own agenda completely. Let's put it that way.
I mean, I felt like she didn't the first series, and then as the series went on, she just sort of separated herself from... But I will say, this was... Again... Week 4, when Harry did his waltz, I thought it was great. And what ruined it was the fact that Aliona did this silly little high school moment on the stairs where they whispered in each other's ear and giggled and then went back into hold. This was just a complete and utter, it was a complete and utter waste of a dance, because Harry's hold and his performance skill had improved so much since then. Like, his ballroom was so massively improved. So why Aliona did all of that stuff out of... I think this was an occasion where she just got carried away by the theme and she choreographed it wrong. But it's a real shame that did happen, because this could have been fantastic.
Absolutely.
But now... Jason's tango. Oh my goodness me! This is just
Roxanne. That was Roxanne, right?
No. This was Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
Oh yeah, I'm mixing him up with some rubbish.
It was I Will Survive. It was the I Will Survive.
Yeah.
No, talking Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. I've been umming and ahhing for the past month as to whether or not I get myself a ticket and go to Priscilla the Party at Outnet on Tottenham Court Road.
Fantastic.
my friend went, and she is very much asexual, and she said that she had one of the guys like just gyrating in her face, and she's just there like, this is doing nothing. What are you doing? And the poor guy is just like, what do I do?
I'll come with you.
Continue. I got distracted.
I will say, I've got to say, I just love the twist that Christina put on this tango. Just
Yeah.
the whole. This was a twist that worked, definitely. There was because there was also so much in hold as well. There was a decent amount in hold, and then they do this bit in amongst the judges, which is proper Priscilla, and it's all just, as Bruno said, powerful, strong, intense, driving this dance, then camp as Christmas. I will survive. And it's so funny.
You need a Bruno impersonator, or you just need to be an impersonator. That should be part of your next cabaret act.
Yeah.
Impersonations.
It's funny you say that, because I watched a film recently that I have not seen in a long time, which is Disney's interpretation of Robin Hood.
Yes, with the fox.
And Pat Bottram, the guy that voices the Sheriff of Nottingham in that, Disney used him a lot for their animated movies. But I love this sort of nasal tone he puts on his voice like this. It's very comedic. Anyways, let's go back to the dance. Ethan, you go first.
I was gonna say, Harry, I loved it, like, he was acting and, like, the storytelling, but obviously there was not enough in hold.
Yeah.
Jason, I liked the performance. His frame was still rough, and his knees needs to be a lot softer. Personally, I also don't really think the song choice worked, but that's just a personal opinion.
I get you.
Yeah, I feel like it did and it didn't in some ways.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really good. And I'm still surprised that they picked this particular dance for him to do again in the final, but fair enough. Each to their own.
Hasn't someone else done a tango to I Will Survive since then? I feel like I'm imagining it, or am I not?
Maybe you're thinking of Angela's Cha-Cha, I'm not sure.
Probably, yeah.
I don't think anybody's done a tango.
That was it, yeah. That's
I was going to say, I think it's all been Cha-Cha-Chas.
Yeah. It's because in my head, I Will Survive is more of a salsa.
Yeah, fair enough. Angelina, have you got anything to add? I know you added something in there, but yeah.
Oh, I would say that I felt really bad for Harry Judd, because that could have been a lot better than it was. I don't know what Aliona was thinking or not thinking when she put that together, but unfortunately on this occasion it didn't work.
No.
It missed the mark of a tango, and then I can see what Aliona was trying to do with sticking with Priscilla, Queen of the Desert theme and the bit in front of the judges, but it did
Christina, not Aliona.
Christina. But yes, I was not sure what she was. Put your teeth in, Angel. Start again. I can understand what Christina was trying to do with Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, stick with the theme and the section out hold in front of the judges, but it did feel a little bit random in the middle of a tango. It suddenly got that. And I think it was kind of hard to capture the mood of the tango when you've got Gloria Gaynor, I Will Survive, get blasted out.
Yeah.
It wasn't really kind of a tango. However, I really did like it. Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, it's fab, it's camp. You either love it or hate it. It's one of those. And for Jason, it worked down to the ground.
It did. And can I just add, I loved what Bruce said afterwards. He went, I saw you in that show dressed as a woman. Yeah, I thought it was Dame Edna.
Yeah.
Edo?
I'm just inclined to agree with all you guys. I think that Jason's was camp and I was here for it. And I can still remember the pink feathers. Didn't he have like pink feathers, or am I imagining?
Yeah, he had like those giant pink feathers that Strictly have kept all these years for some weird reason.
Yeah.
Yes, they seem to appear. They seem to appear every season with a different contestant.
Yeah, I was here for it. Still am. And I can't really remember Harry's. I just feel like, like Jason just had that memorable wow factor that was just like, okay, I'm here to slay. played. Yeah.
Yes. Anyways, let us move on to the vote. I immediately vote Sir Jason.
I am voting for Jason also.
Ethan?
I would vote for Harry, but
Okay. Edo?
Slayson.
Layson, did you just
No,
say?
Slayson.
Oh,
Sorry,
Slayton. Right, okay. I see. Right. So that's another win on the
How
board for Jason. Lovely.
How many darts have we got left?
We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll try and get through. If you have to duck out, that's not a problem,
Okay.
honestly. But, right. Now, I have to say, weeks 4, 5, and 6 were rather confusing for Jason for me, because this was all of a sudden where we hit a bit of a rough patch. He'd had a really good few weeks, weeks 1, 2, and 3. Week 4, he comes out with his Paso, and it's like all of a sudden he's forgotten what he's doing. Week 5, he comes back with his Quick Step, much better. And then we get to week 6 with his Rumba, and we have another drop. Now, the Rumbas this year, Harry and Chelsea's, I felt like, were a lot more performance-based. Jason's was very technical, but it looked technical.
Yeah.
Like, he was thinking it through. I remember he and Christina came together in the beginning. They did like this thing where they walked together, stopped, held hands. He looked forward and was like, right, okay, I'm going to step forward. I'm going to go into these Rumba walks. Now I'm going to do this step. Then I'm going to do this. Random smile appears from nowhere. Uh-oh, no, it's Rumba. I've got to be sensual. I've got to do this. It was just like the Rumba had just completely thwarted him. And it was a real shame because I thought this would have been one of his best dances, but it felt like it was all over the place, unfortunately. And then, of course, we have Harry's Rumba, which was Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. And to be perfectly honest, you can't get any hotter than Kevin Costner naked in a pool. Sadly, we didn't get that here, but still.
Indeed.
But again, Harry and Aliona's one started with them walking towards each other from different ends of the stage. And personally, I'm not really all about that. I prefer if they started together and just went into it right from the off. But this was a good Rumba. Again, very performance-based, little touchy-feely, but I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to create the sort of sense of a slightly more lustful Rumba that Craig likes. And his Latin hadn't been that great for a while. So I really saw with this dance that he'd really worked on his hip action, which was brilliant. And they did one of my favourite steps as well, the sliding doors. Love the sliding doors.
I love a sliding door.
But yeah, I really liked Harry's Rumba, and it really solidified that he had been really working to improve his Latin. So yeah, without a doubt, his best Latin dance. Edo, are you still there, buddy?
I'm there.
Oh, right, okay. I panicked for a second there. Your video had frozen.
You had a loading circle for like the past 5 minutes.
Oh,
right.
No.
Right, Ethan, I'll let you go first on this.
I was going to say, I'll start with Harry first. I felt like he had a lovely quality of movement. It flows very well. I mean, I love the song choice.
Oh yeah, everything I do it for you. Brilliant Rumba song.
I do think I prefer Greg Rutherford's Robin Hood dance.
Yeah, I get that.
He's got Harry's such great leadership, but also care throughout that leadership. But you can tell he's nervous. You can tell that like he's either uncomfortable or he's nervous, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Latin was not his thing, but he worked hard at it at least. Yeah. And I will say, again, with this dance, brilliant arm placement. Like he knew how to use his arms from day one. Yeah. But yeah, continue.
Jason, I thought it was nice choreo. I like the choreography. Just lacking hip action, and he looks like he's thinking about every single move, and it just. I do love your song though, but it's not my favorite.
On that front, I was like, why didn't they slow it down? Like
Yeah.
they're playing, like "Killing Me Softly" is a great rumba song, but they were playing it way too fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyways, Edo.
Agree with all of you guys' points. I think that Harry's storytelling was great, and I feel like it really did. Like his acting skills was getting better and better by that point. But by no means perfect. But it was a good effort because obviously rumba's such a difficult dance for the male.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It's weird. Like, I think again, it's a real show, and I think it's interesting that Jason had like 2 dips throughout his Strictly journey, but I think that was what he sort of needed to level him out a little bit,
Yeah.
because it really sort of set him on a decent path of like slightly slower improvement for the rest of the competition, which I think was good for him. But yeah, all that aside, decent efforts from both of them. It's just a shame that for one of them it didn't quite work out. But let us go to the vote. I vote Harry. Angelina?
I think I would vote Harry on this one, yeah.
Edo?
Harry Hood.
Harry Hood. Ethan?
Yeah, Harry. 100%.
Sweet. Fantastic. Right, so we've got currently it's 3 for Jason, 2 for Harry. But with the next few dances, that could all change. Now, I've made sure to go through all of the dances that I sort of still have issues with before we can get more into the positive stuff later on. Because next up, we have Samba. Now, obviously, we know that the Samba is notoriously hard for a lot of people. Neither of these were good, but not brilliant, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, it is because Chelsea was actually the highest Samba score of the series for that year.
I can remember hers being very good.
Yeah, but again, Harry's very touchy-feely. Like Aliona was really leaning into the sex appeal with the Latin dances. So, but yeah, a lot of sort of body rolling movement. Sorry, yes.
It was literally porn with a plot.
Oh my god, I'm gonna have to remember that one. Oh Jesus!
I did not take ownership for that quote. It was in a House of Sky and Breath, the second book in Sarah J. Maas' Crescent City series. It's from that book, and I read it. I dropped my Kindle on my face. I was laughing that hard.
Oh my god, that's brilliant.
It's brilliant.
Okay, composure. Let's get on with this.
I'll try not to get your live taken down. I'm sorry. Dear, I have broken the gentleman.
Okay, I'm fine. I'm okay. I'm cool. Right, moving on. Dance moves. I'm going to be laughing about that one after this is finished. Right, a lot of body rolling movements, and still at this point, Harry's hips hadn't quite loosened up by this point.
No.
So he was still a little bit stiff in the lower body. Volters, actually, I felt like the volters on both the dances needed work. Like, both of those needed a little bit of work. Promenade runs, good. But again, could have used a lot more. I felt like we didn't quite have a perfect blend of samba and sort of movement in this dance. So yeah, he just needed to let go a little bit more. But I do think I Wish by Stevie Wonder is a very nice samba song choice. I did like that. As is Jason's song choice, which is Blame It on the Boogie. But again, choreo issues with this. I didn't mind the disco being in there, but I would have preferred if they hadn't finished with it. And all of that, like, all of this that they did in one corner of the room, like, that was completely unnecessary for me. I didn't mind the dress fluffing, like, that's okay. But Jason, I felt like, had a decent amount of steps in there. Like, he had, I don't know what they call this step, like the sort of out, in, and turn step that they do. Ethan, I don't know if you know what they call that one.
Which one, sorry?
Hang on, I'll do it. Demo time. It takes 2 demo time going on here. Right, this one. Out, in, turn like that.
What
Oh,
turn?
yeah. I don't know what exactly it's called, but I do that with Mitch, my partner.
Yeah.
And it is difficult because
Yeah.
you're turning, and if you don't turn them right, it goes wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's the hard way.
Indeed. I also learned that one the hard way when I got turned into a chair.
See, I missed Mitch's arms in a dance comp, so that was fun.
Oh. Yeah, that part was good. Promenade runs for Jason. That was what he lost timing, and he
Yeah.
got a bit overexcited and rushed ahead of the beat. Volters again weren't great in this, but the one thing that I will say is he has got one of the most fluid sets of hips I think I've ever seen. So,
Him and Bobby, my God.
so yeah, very, very, very good on that part. But yeah, again, choreographic issues with both these dances. So yeah, but I will hand it over. Edo, you go first.
Yeah, I think they both had amazing hip action, but Jason's, oh my goodness, comes close to my favorite samba, aka this one over here.
Yeah. Mhm.
No,
Mhm.
oh, hang on, where's my camera off? Hang on, where's my camera off? Turn the camera,
That's
turn the
what
camera. There we go.
Wrong,
we don't want to
wrong
see
button,
That's what I
mate.
was
Wrong
doing.
button. Yeah.
No, but I do think that, again, amazing song choices, and Alina's choreography, yeah, looking back on it, it was quite interesting. And there's only 2 dances of hers that I can like fully remember to like amazing sound, if that makes sense. Like I feel like from her and Harry, I feel like there were only a couple of dances that we haven't covered yet that were like
Yeah.
like that I can really remember as being just like showcasing his actual dancing ability instead of the sex appeal.
Yeah. Can I just preface one thing? Aliona set herself onto a bad precedent with the judges right from the off because she did a lift in her tango with Rav Wilding. And Len immediately called her out on it. He said, "I know you're new, but I saw a lift in there, and you're not supposed to do lifts." And I always felt, and she also made the mistake of pissing him off when, after week 1 of this series, she went on It Takes Two, and she said, "I don't listen to the judges."
Yes. Oh,
I was
she had some gumption, didn't she?
Yeah. Ethan, what were you going to say?
I was gonna say I was watching the judges' comments, and I was just like, Yeah, I was like, Len doesn't like her.
Yeah, she's. I would. The thing is, I felt like after a while, that year especially, she kind of established herself as like the female version of Brendan Cole, and that's not what you want in the eyes of the judges. Angelina, you go next.
Yeah. The samba was neither of their best dances, unfortunately. I think Jason definitely had the better set of hips. It was like somebody had busted out the WD-40 and gone completely overboard with it prior from entering the floor because they were sliding around everywhere. And there were a lot of gyrating and posing in a suggestive manner in Harry's. I was like, wow, he is really going for the sex appeal votes with this chappie, and he didn't look entirely comfortable with that. Whether he was uncomfortable or nervous, I'm not sure, but his face seemed to tell all.
Yeah,
he needed to tell his face to do something. There were technical issues with both of them, but I think Jason's was the more enjoyable watch for me.
Yes.
Yes.
Ethan?
Yeah, I was going to say, both choreographically, not a fan of either of them. I didn't enjoy Jason's when I was watching it. I just found it a bit cringy. But I do think, like, his hips obviously better. I was going to say, both of them, I was looking for their feet, see if they were turned out. Both of them needed to turn out their feet. Every time I
also noticed that.
Every time my teacher does it, she'll get her foot and she'll just go, like, to my foot.
Yeah.
Quite funny. because I've come from a world where I didn't have turnout feet, and for that, and I now need to. But I was gonna say, they both had a little bit of bounce, but it needed to be a lot more over exaggerated. And when there were things like your volters, your hips need to be continuous rather than a kick, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I don't. This is the weird thing. Like, their bounce needed to be more exaggerated, but Robbie Savage needed to exaggerate his a lot less when he did his "Samba to You Sexy" thing by Hot Chocolate. Like that dance.
Was that the one when he?
I thought he was going to take off at one point. It was like someone had put springs in his shoes.
Was that the one where Robbie Savage slid into the cameraman?
No, that was his jive.
Yeah, that was the jive, but he knocked the cameraman over.
Yeah. And he also broke his nose on the camera.
Ow!
But it was. That was the one where he ripped his trousers off and he was wearing his old team colour shorts underneath.
Yeah.
And it was just such an ick. It was such an ick.
Tony Adams.
Yeah. Well, it's because it's to the Full Monty tune, you know.
Even miracles.
Also, just back to what you were saying, Ethan, I had the opposite problem when I was dancing in Stoke. Because obviously I come from the world of ballroom and theatre jazz and that. So I do everything with my feet in first position. So when I was doing ballroom, Matt used to kick my feet inwards to dance in parallel. Because I would be dancing ballroom like that. We're going, no, parallel.
Yes.
It
just proves that not all dance experience is good dance experience.
No, well, my mother argues this every year because my mum was a professional ballet dancer, but she also danced in cabaret shows and in own dance companies where there might be a ballroom themed routine. So my mum has basic Roman Latin knowledge, and she was saying that her ballet meant that she would hold her like Debbie McGee. Used to holding herself really, really upright and being very fixed, that suddenly you've got to use your hips. Hips? What are they?
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. But, again, neither of these dances were the best for both these boys, which is a real shame, but there we are. And for Jason to have to do his in the semi-final as well, ooh.
Yeah, not what you want.
Yeah, and after he'd just been in the bottom two as well. So, yeah. But let us vote. Right, I vote, purely from a technical perspective, Jason.
I'm also voting for Jason, for the same reasons.
Yeah.
Edo, you said Jason. Ethan, who did you go with?
Well, I originally put down Harry, but I think I'm going to go with Jason.
All right, that's fair enough.
You guys don't mind if I have to go for dinner, do you?
No, that's fine.
Of course not, mate. That's fine.
I'll have to go because I'll probably have dinner shortly and I just need to get ready.
That's all right, buddy.
Sorry to leave you all so early, but I hope the rest goes all right.
No, have a good night, mate. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Yes.
Bye.
See you later.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye. Lovely. Right. Okay, it's a real shame that Edo's now left when he did, because we are about to get into the nitty-gritty now.
Indeed.
We are into the proper dances where both things started to come together for these guys. Quick step. Now, Jason obviously did his in week 5, which was Halloween week back then, and he did his to Bewitched.
I was about to say, his was the Bewitched one, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Which actually isn't that fast a song for a quick step.
No, it's not.
I was saying, because, where is it? I think somebody on the Irish version did an American smooth to it.
Yeah, because the original version of the song is actually a lot slower than that. So, yeah, weird.
I can't remember who it was on that. Oh, it was Sinead O'Carroll from Bewitched.
Oh,
she danced
was it?
Bewitched in the song Bewitched in week 1.
Cute.
Right, okay. yeah, this was very, very good, actually. I thought nice work, nice amount of character work in the beginning, with him like getting the spell and then being controlled into this, and his frame had improved a little bit by then. And then he gets into hold with Christina. Nice amount of footwork, nice amount of steps. Couple of mistakes in there, but obviously, he's trying to do his best. But yeah, I really like this routine. I thought it was actually very, very good, and I liked all like the sort of madness parts when he's like found out that his wife's a witch, and he's sort of, oh my god, I'm in this realm where my wife is a witch. What's going on?
Mm.
But yeah, very, very good quick step, I thought, and yeah, Alicia giving it a 10 again, probably deserved. I don't know, but yeah, I will actually say one thing I appreciate about Bewitched, the original series, is that they were one of the very first people to. That they were one of the very first shows that I've seen in like the early days to tackle racism.
Mm.
Because there was like a scene where Sam's daughter befriends this young black girl, and I think somebody like insults their family, and she casts a spell on both of them where they get like black and white spots on their faces, so that they're like mixed color, because she doesn't want anyone to hurt her anymore. But all she's really done is made them look very odd.
Yeah.
But yeah, the fella that insulted their family does eventually apologise. But yeah, I'm like, yeah, nice attempt at trying to tackle the racism early on, guys. Appreciate that. Very good.
Yeah.
But yes, but then of course we have Harry's quick step. One of the most iconic quick steps ever seen on Strictly to this day. Like the choreo in this was so difficult. But
It was.
watching it now, I'm like, Aliona, where was this in week 5?
Literally.
But yeah, it was so unbelievable. It was intricate, nice little playful beginning, and then once you get into hold, basic quick steps straight into pivots, woodpecker move, turns, 3 consecutive leaps after scatter chasses. It's got everything. It has everything, and it's brilliant for it. That's all I've got to say on it. Angelina.
Yeah, choreographically, Harry's stood out by a mile. It was beautifully intricate choreographically. He pulled it off really, really well. But I really like the concept of Jason and Christina's. And he did well dancing on his own when she was him at the start. I think he did a really good job of that. And really, he told the story well. They both did, and they kept with the concept the whole way through. It didn't dip in and out at all, and it was. And I liked the way they ended it. That it was a fun ending.
Yeah, the little nose twitch as well. That was fun.
Yeah.
Also, this was actually the first time I think that we ever heard Len say 10 from Len. I don't think I've ever heard him say it before then. That's weird.
Yeah. You might be onto something.
But yeah. Yeah, but I just want to say, Craig, a lazy left foot for Harry. Really? You couldn't come up with a better excuse? Anyway, rant over. Ethan.
Indeed.
I was going to say, Harry is gorgeous. Like, so gorgeous. And he just looks effortless. And I was going to say, quick step. I struggle with quick step. I have a basic quick step routine and then an intricate quick step routine, and it's like quick steps just a complete mind boggle. And I really, really, really enjoyed Harry's. Jason's I wasn't as keen on. I thought it was fun. I'm not massively familiar with the concept, so I don't know if that's a thing.
Probably, yeah.
So I was going to say, you've used it again for Strictly, haven't you?
Yeah, Ruth Langsford had it.
Oh, God. That's why I tuned it out.
Yeah.
But no, Jason's frame is still low. I don't know. I was going to say, I always get told to dance up and don't dance down to your partner. I think that's what Jason's doing.
Hmm.
So he just needs to lift his arms. But yeah, it really bugged me. I was watching this because I was like, put your frame up.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a hard one. It's a hard one to judge when he's been doing it for so long, and yet he's still getting praise from people. So yeah, you're like, who's right and who's wrong here?
Yeah. Can I just say something? I feel like Quickstep, the footwork, is very much like tap dance in a way. It's like you can do a basic Quickstep and a basic tap well. But when you start adding in, for tap, when you're adding syncopated rhythms and adding and dancing on different parts of the shoe and different timings, a whole new minefield. And you've got to be careful that it doesn't sound like a complete muddly mess of noise that makes everyone go, "Oh my god, this is horrific." Oh. And the same can happen with Quickstep if you get all your feet tied. It just looks like a muddly mess.
Yeah. I agree with you there.
I don't know why. I was thinking about a Quickstep in tap shoes the other day. Don't know what prompted it or what made me start thinking about it, but I thought about what would a Quickstep in tap shoes be like.
Fair enough. You never know. You never know.
I feel like driving tap shoes is a recipe for someone breaking their ankle because that's slippery. And nothing else really makes sounds as such, other than Paso, but that would just be loud and banging. And nobody's eardrums would like that very much.
Yes. Right, so
anyway.
we've talked about both of them now. Let's go to the votes. So, I vote Harry.
I vote Harry.
I vote Harry.
Yeah, I think we were pretty much decided from the off there, weren't we?
Indeed.
Okay, next up, Viennese Waltz.
I've got.
So, yeah. Oh, Ethan, have you got things to say about this? But I want to see what you've got to say first.
Not massively, but I was just saying that I've got opinions on this, but I'm happy.
I actually want you to start this one off then, because I love to hear what you have to say on these things.
I was going to say, it's not like I've got any big revelation or anything, but I was going to say, I feel like Harry, I mean, first of all, this year's Love is stunning song. And I mean, I feel like really quite a lot of people have gotten Viennese Waltz in the semi-final. I feel like it can either really trip you up or really...
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I thought Harry's, I'd say it was stunning. It's got a great sweeping movement.
Oh, yes.
The footwork. Because obviously in Viennese Waltz you're meant to close flat.
Yes.
Jason's, first of all, Iris is like my favourite song, so obviously I love that. Storytelling was great. His heels were not touching the floor.
This is the thing, I didn't pay that much attention to when I watched it, because the one thing that I had in my head the entire time was Craig's criticism about his arms. And it's true, his arms are still very sort of flat and almost like a plank on a hinge, just going up and down.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I didn't really notice that. Again, I felt like his Viennese Waltz had a little bit too much rise and fall in it.
I think that as well, because I actually saw your comment on the YouTube video I was watching.
Yeah.
Hey.
But yeah, very great storytelling, and that was the one trump card that I think he had over a lot of the other contestants, was that he was a natural storyteller, which helped him. But again, wooden arms, but decent Fleckle as well, I thought.
Oh yeah.
But Harry, as Len said, just a few bars walking together and then straight into frame and straight into the Fleckle as well. Like, who does that? And then off into the natural turns and all the reverse turns. No fluff, just staying in hold the entire time. Just beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful. Angelina.
I've got nothing more to add. Everything that I was going to say has already been said, and I'm in complete agreement with everything that's been said.
Am I okay to...
Fair enough. Yeah, of course.
I feel like a lot of people, pros in particular, like Viennese Waltz. I think Kevin saying on the podcast, he did really waltz with Stacey in the semi, and it meant that obviously he didn't have to think about a load of steps. Like,
yeah,
obviously a
very
very limited amount of steps, and yet other dance, which I think Stacey did Charleston Vinnie's waltz in semi, so did Harry.
Yeah, so did Harry, yeah.
Yeah.
So Adriana didn't really have to worry about choreography as much.
I mean, you say that, but then we also get certain people who have done Vinnie's waltz and the pros have added extra stuff in, which isn't really necessary. And I'm glad that Aliona didn't do that here.
Yeah.
I don't think it would work for this song, actually.
No.
It wouldn't.
Sorry to interrupt. How many more dances do we have? Because my phone's getting quite hot.
Right, 1, 2, 3. We've just got 4 left, so we'll go through them as quick as we can.
Yeah. And I also have 24% phone battery in my lead.
Yeah, I'm at 20. I'm at 27. I'll go as quick as I can. Right.
Sorry.
Charleston next. Now
Hang on.
these.
Sorry.
Sorry, vote. Yeah, sorry. Who are we voting for on this? I'm voting for Harry.
Harry.
Yeah, thought so. Oh, that has finally brought our boys level. Let's see where we go next. Now, Charleston next. Now, this for me was easily 2 of the best dances from both these boys.
Definitely.
But only reason Jason's didn't get 10s was because he had a slight timing issue at the end. Like, he got out of sync with Christina during one of the kick sections. But
it was right at the very end as well.
Yeah. But I did like the theming of both these dances. Like, Jason's had the proper sort of 1920s slapstick silent movie, Charlie Chaplin, Buster Keaton type character, and Harry Judd as a sailor. Like, I'm sure a lot of the ladies in the audience will have liked that.
And
gays. And gays as well. Sorry, Ethan. But lot of nice body control with his, and his was sort of more like a cheeky Charleston as well, very sort of like slightly childish and very difficult footwork in there as well. Like, there were some bits where he like tapped his feet a couple of times and then immediately went in a different direction. So, and also the bluebird lift at the end. I mean, Aliona's got to be stark raving mad to throw that in there. So very good, but very good choreo on both ends and very good lifts as well. So
definitely.
But yeah, swivel, brilliant, and yeah, again, Jason would have got a higher score had he not messed up, which is a shame.
Yeah.
But there we are. Hi, Andrea. Angelina, you go next.
But yeah, definitely, I agree with all that. It's a real shame that Jason messed up because I was really enjoying that. I love a proper 1920s slapstick Charleston. It just gives me Fred and Ginger. I love it. Fred and Ginger are my absolute dance and theatre idols. And so anything that gives me golden age of Hollywood, I'll lap it up. But Harry's, his choreography was so intricate and so difficult, but he executes it fantastically. And yes, definitely going for the popularity points with Harry as a sailor. And again, brilliant lift at the end. Very neck and neck with these two, I think.
Yeah, and also Wild About Harry, very clever song choice.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Ethan.
I was going to say, I hadn't watched either of these dances before, so
No,
it was quite nice to. As in I watched them, but I hadn't seen them before I watched them. Oh,
right. Okay.
So I was kind of nice to kind of come in it with fresh eyes. Harry is. I wasn't expecting it to be this good. Like his facial expressions, just swivels as well. Like, really, really good. Which I was going to say, they might Aliona didn't really have much luck with Charleston's on her time.
No.
She got eliminated first with Greg and
Tony, yes.
Tony. I was going to say, Jason's was good. I liked the characterization. It didn't necessarily wow me as much. And it really did go out of sync, which, yeah.
Yeah.
But he did recover really well, which obviously, this was the week after Chives. Obviously, 2 weeks in a row where he went out of time or out of sync, which...
Yeah, which isn't really what you want, but fair enough. But at least he kept going. That's the important thing.
Yeah,
At least he kept going. So, yeah, let us vote. On this occasion, I think Harry's just edged it for me.
I'm voting for Jason on this one because I'm in love with the 1920s
Oh,
theming.
Ethan, you are the decider, my friend.
I'm voting Harry.
Oh, that was a really close vote, I've got to say.
The gentlemen keep outnumbering me. That's not fair. There's
Sorry. It's not intentional, I swear.
There seems to be always more gentlemen on these lives than me.
It's not intentional, I swear. Anyway.
Also, I didn't misgender anyone there, did I?
No, it's fine.
No, good.
It's fine. Cool. Now, next up, we have, and this is probably one of my favourite verses that we're going to do tonight, American Smooth, because we have a foxtrot versus a Viennese waltz. So we're going to see two very different interpretations.
Yeah.
But before there was Aria Duba, there was Jason Donovan.
Yeah.
I love an American Smooth to Singing in the Rain. Like, honestly...
It's one of my favourite musicals.
Yeah.
Again, it's Debbie Reynolds. Oh.
Yeah.
I will say the one thing that bugged me about Jason's dance, sorry, I'm just taking my my jacket off the radiator, was I felt like the stuff in Hold and the stuff out of Hold could have been spaced out a little bit more. It was a bit half and half. So it was like 50% him doing the Singing in the Rain stuff. Then he gets into Hold and he spends the rest of the routine in Hold and doing stuff there, which kind of works, I guess. But yeah, it would have been nice to have a little bit more of a split between the two of them. But I will say though, the one thing that I loved about this was that I think that since the Foxtrot in week 2, you can actually see that Jason has worked to improve his frame. So I was very happy with that. And also, he just embodied Gene Kelly. So what more can you say about that? And I love the ending. And nice, they didn't go overboard on the lifts, which actually, for a Singing in the Rain routine, I think I appreciated. Yeah. Very nice routine. Whereas Harry did his in the final after he got into the top 2, and it was sensual, romantic. A few bars before they got into Hold, they did a few turns, and then they did this really daring catch lift where Aliona just threw herself at him, and then they went into a spinning lift. And again, very daring there. And one-handed lift as well, a shoulder sit lift, which is very difficult and disastrous should it go wrong. So yeah, a lot of things about both these routines I enjoyed. So yeah, Ethan, I'll let you go first on this one.
I was going to say, Harry's I thought was really soft and sweet and graceful. I do like part of your song, but I didn't like it from American Smooth. I would like to know with a bit more if you're going for an American Smooth Viennese waltz personally. It just, I don't know, it didn't kind of draw me in as much as I wanted it to. But I do think, like, I feel like from watching them when I watched them week 1 Chow Chow, and I wasn't quite sure on their partnership compared to this, where they're easily one of, I think, the most matched Strictly partnerships. Like, it's like, and also the difference from his Foxtrot, from like his first ballroom, like to now, like his frame and everything. But Jason's, I mean, I love Singing in the Rain, and this was just perfect in my opinion.
Yeah.
I will say, I was shocked that this ended him off in the bottom 2.
Me too.
Yeah. I was going to say when I looked, because I was going to say I don't know why, but there was another American Smooth that week, wasn't it? think Alex
Yeah.
Jones may have done one.
Alex Jones is to Pretty Woman, which sadly didn't get as high as it could have because they had a big mistake in it.
Because I was going to say, somehow I watched that the other day a while back for some reason, and I was like, I think this should have been in the bottom two over Jason's. But
Yeah.
that movie week is one of my favourites because we got Chelsea Shrek Jive, Holly
yes.
Zorro.
Oh yeah, Holly Valance's Zorro Paso, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Robbie Savage's quick step to Reservoir Dogs wasn't that bad, but you could just tell that he'd sort of overstayed his welcome by that point.
Mm.
Yeah.
But anyways, let us go to the vote. I'm really torn on this one. If I had to make a flash decision, I think I'd go with Harry. Right, hey guys, welcome to Strictly Live Part 2.5. So it turns out that when your phone overheats during an Instagram live, it now turns it off completely. Oh my god, what I don't get is, why is Instagram running its app at such a high video frame rate that causes people's phones to overheat? Like, there is no need to do that. YouTube doesn't do that. Facebook doesn't do that. There is no need to do any of that crap. Let's get Ethan and Angel back in here. Sorry, Angelina, back in here. Hey, Chloe. Here we go. Right. There we go. Right, let's hope that this friggin' thing does... Yes, it fully crashed, Chloe. Hello. Yeah. So I've managed to save the video from the archive, thank God, and I might be uploading it to this later, I'm not sure, but I might upload it to YouTube instead, so yeah. We'll see how we go.
Fair enough. Fair enough. You might be able to use an editing software to sandwich parts 1 and 2 together.
Possibly, yes. Invite Ethan, there we go. Ethan, I've just invited you myself, mate, because it's doing the thing again.
We've only got like 2 dances left to discuss anyway, haven't we?
Yeah, that's why I'm so annoyed that it crashed when it did. Hello.
Hello.
That's why I'm so annoyed that it crashed when it did, because we only had 2 left. Couldn't have crashed after we finished the show dance, for goodness sake. Anyways, let's carry on. Are we all good? Everything good on your guys' end?
I think we were literally just about to vote on the American Smooth.
Yeah.
Yes, we were.
I was going to say, I think you two had voted. I was about to vote.
I hadn't. I only saw my own vote. I didn't see Angelina vote. So yeah.
Right. So, who did you vote for?
I voted for Harry.
I voted for Jason.
I also
Ethan.
voted for Jason.
Okay, I'm outvoted on this occasion. How about that?
But I was going to say, it's weird because watching that, obviously, I much prefer Harry to Jason. But watching that, there were just some dances where I just think Jason just had that edge.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I'll see if I can do that, Ash. Thanks very much. Right. Next we have, for the first time since we've done Strictly Versus, the Argentine tango. As we say over in Italy, we do this for the passione. I am the king of the passione. I've been doing Argentine tango all my life. That's my Vincent Simone impression, in case people didn't realise.
Love it.
Right. Okay. Now, I don't know whether you guys have ever seen Len talk about this in an interview, but he got in trouble once because he lost his temper and called Craig a silly sod. And Harry's Argentine tango was the reason why.
How did you get in trouble for calling someone a silly sod? Like, that's not explicit or abusive.
I don't know. But everyone just went, oh, and Bruce was like, go and wash your mouth out. It was just so... But yeah, so Harry's Argentine tango was very technically difficult. Lots of intricate ganchos with the legs, a lot of closeness between him and Aliona. Len didn't see any passion in it the first time.
Ah.
So that was what, but Craig and everyone else did. Craig, this was one of the rare occasions where we saw Craig go, "It was filth, and I loved it."
I would love
Yeah.
I would love to see Craig do an Argentine tango or a rumba, but I don't think his hips would allow it.
No. But yeah, Harry's Argentine tango, the first time Len didn't see any passion, not through the content, but through the way that Harry was expressing himself. And I can sort of see what he's talking about looking back. I can still see a little bit of passion in there the first time they did it. But when they did it in Blackpool, he definitely took it up a notch, which was good because it meant that he got a full score. But yeah, Craig argued back and said that it was passionate. And Len was like, "There was no passion in there, you silly little sod." So, yeah.
I love your Craig impression is my favourite. I've decided.
But yeah, I have to say, very clean mount and dismount from the lifts as well. Again, rather touchy-feely. But great drags with the legs as well. Ocho's fantastic. And the ending was all sort of a bit of a sudden stop and then, oh, we still love each other sort of moment. So yeah, very, very good routine. And then we have Jason, whose Argentine tango, obviously, I had to find the video for you guys because Daily Motion, the people who run the website, have just let it go to crap recently. But, oh my goodness me, Assassin's Tango. I love this song so much.
Me too.
But there were tender moments in there. And then all of a sudden, like moments where you have like snatch and grab, and all of a sudden it's like, I want your attention.
The light and shade is fantastic.
It's like, I want your attention focused on me. Don't look away from me, you naughty girl. And then it's like, and then the slow, intricate, like basic Argentine tango steps where they do like like what I like to call the clock motion.
Yes.
Where the legs sort of intertwine, and then it goes into like the full explosion with the violins and the piano and the bass guitar, and you know Jason's doing all the stuff with his arms and his legs and the lifts. I gotta say, the lifts were a little bit on the raunchy side, but fair enough. But it's a real shame that I couldn't show you guys the judges' comments on that one, because Bruno was like, "It was like a relentless fight to the death. You won." And Craig said, "I would put that woman on an assault charge, darling." But yeah, it was, oh my god, both of these routines I love, but my god, they are intense.
Yes, they took Argentine tango to a whole new level. It was like, it was bordering on, are we pushing the watershed boundaries a bit here? That was probably one of the few times that Strictly got teeteringly close to being served a notice from the TV licensing agency.
Yeah. Oh god. The crazy thing is, at one point or another, both of these dances got perfect scores. This is why this is the hardest one to judge for me. Ethan, I'm going to let you go first on this one, my friend.
I was going to say, it was weird because I've seen Harry's before, but when I was watching him yesterday, I hadn't seen Jason's before. I was going to say,
right.
Harry, I felt like they had decent chemistry. Like, I felt like it was obvious. It was nice and clean. So I feel like sometimes, the thing is, I like an tango to be clean. But if they're too clean, it becomes placed. Again, if it's too... I was going to say, it didn't necessarily blow me away.
Okay.
Argentine tango is the one, I feel like it's the one dance that always takes my breath away. Like my favourite dance, pretty much most often my favourite dances from Strictly have been Argentine tangos. I mean, my favourite being Fleur East. Jason's, oh my god. Like the light and shade, really good. Really, really enjoying it. And I mean, I just love this piece of music.
Yeah.
And I was going to say, for this to come after his samba, I'm like, we know he can do like, this is the level of dance he can do. So why did you give him a disco samba?
Yeah. Yeah, you sort of felt like he'd been dealt a bomb hand during that bit, didn't you?
Definitely.
Right, Angelina.
I will say one phrase and one phrase only, just to satisfy Ash. They were porn with a plot, and I loved it.
Oh boy, if anybody has tuned into this who didn't see the earlier part of the live before it crashed, then yeah, you're not going to know why I'm laughing so much. Anyways,
Let
us vote. Let us vote. I mean, Harry's was so good, but I've got to go for Jason on this one.
Same, Jason. Jason all the way.
Yeah, same. I was asking Jason.
Right. Now we are on to the final one of the night, the show dance.
Yay!
Now, I've got to say, interesting that we have show dances in Blackpool, but because we hadn't really had that since Series 2. So, yeah, intrigued to see where we go with this. So, Harry obviously did his to Great Balls of Fire, and it was like a rock and roller style jive. Interestingly enough, both these dances had moments where layers of clothing were removed.
Yes, it was the stripping version of a show dance.
Yes, I have to say,
dancing.
Stripping come dancing.
Yeah. Now, Harry did his to Great Balls of Fire, and it was like a very jive-inspired rock and roll style jive, which I like. Sometimes I don't always gel to some of the one style show dances.
No.
But on this occasion, I think he played to a strength of his, and he actually showed that he'd really increased in confidence in a lot of the dances where maybe he hadn't felt so confident earlier on. So good on him for that. And yeah, he was putting his body to good use as well. And nice amount of partnering with Aliona as well. Drum solo at the end, okay, nice of them to squeeze it in, because yeah, he's a drummer, he wants to show off his skill. Not really got a lot to do with dancing, but fair enough. And then we have Jason to Dancing Fool. And this, I just love Dancing Fool anyway. Like we've seen it so many times on Strictly already, but for it to be done to a show dance, like, and you know, they had the canes and everything, they were properly giving it all the showbiz type moves, lifts just utterly bonkers as well. But the amount of energy that he needed for this show dance, you know, he looked absolutely shattered by the end of it. So well done for still going.
Yeah.
And they had the quick step in there. They had all the moments with the canes. This had the most layers of clothing removed out of any dance. But I like the different styles, and I like the pink shirts as well, and the pink dress on Christina as well. And then she basically finished with nothing but a bikini. So yeah.
Both Christina and Aliona seem to have a thing for what is the least amount of clothing we can get away with without changing the entire premise of the show.
Yeah. I will say Strictly 2011 was the year that the producers really cracked down on how skimpy they were allowed to go with the dresses, because 2010 they really pushed the envelope there. But
I was about to say Aliona and Matt Baker's Samba comes to mind.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Scott Maslin and Natalie Lowe's Paso as well to James Bond, which was
another Natalie Lowe. Natalie, Christina, and Aliona seemed to really push the envelope as far as they physically could with what is the least amount of clothing we can get away with wearing.
Yes. I will say I like both these guys, but yeah, show dances are really where it counted. And honestly, on his show dance alone, I am still shocked to this day that Jason didn't make it into the final two, because I didn't really think that Chelsea and Passions was it, really.
No, I definitely think that Jason's show dance should have got him into the final too. Because what I particularly loved is how every time the style changed, they ripped off.
Yes, yeah.
And each layer matched like what they were doing. So they had all the canes and the Fred and Ginger like Golden Age of Hollywood stuff with the suits at the start, and then it was the ballroom part with Aliona's dress, and then it went into the sort of the Latiny freestyly sort of jivey bit to finish it, and she was in the little tiny two-piece.
Yeah.
And I just think that had everything in it. They literally were about to flop on the floor at the end, and I think they did. I think they did actually finish it. Flopped on the floor. And I liked how they snuck the drums at the end for Harry Judd, just for a little bit. Yes, it's got nothing to do with dancing, but great way to finish, to almost do a full circle moment that you're back where you started with your day job, because that's what Strictly is. You leave your day job for a couple of months and you go back to it. So I liked that, how it rounded that off quite nicely. And yeah, I'm not always sure with the one style show dances. It's always a worry of, can you make this stand out enough to be a show dance without going completely overboard and it becoming a complete mess of nobody knowing what they're watching.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to say, Mark Wright sadly didn't achieve that.
No.
And I felt like Katie Derham could have done, had she not had a bad back and been, a little bit too loose in some of the moves that she did for her O Fortuna show dance. But
because her back was all taped up, wasn't it? She was all taped up, wasn't she? Yeah.
She was, yeah. So on this occasion, this was definitely a dance where one star show dance really worked, I felt. Ethan, what did you think?
I was to say, it was nice to go back and watch show dances when I felt like show dances actually counted.
Yeah.
Because I mean, in the past 2 years, the winner has messed up their show dance and still won. So,
yeah.
I was going to say, something that Kate once said was that Harry Judd's sleeves walked so that Catchy Jones's dress could run.
Yes, I do remember that.
Yes.
I mean, I love Harry Judd and I love this show dance. I feel like he could have done a bit more actual dance. But I loved the energy. I feel like it really suited him. I was going to say, dancing still holds like a really special place in my heart. But I thought it really worked for Jason. I did feel like it felt a little bit, I don't know if repetitive is the right word, but I don't know. But also in that middle section in the quick step, his frame was still a bit dodgy, which I know I should. But
I'm inclined
it's fine.
But yeah, I was gonna say it's nice to look back at show dances when they actually felt like. So I just feel like, what is the point of show dances? It makes me sad because I love show dances. They're just a bit pointless now.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like last year was the first year where for the first time the show dances actually did matter for the first time again. Because I felt like Rose and John's show dances were a little bit throwaway, and all the ones in 2022, like Hamza obviously messed his up, Molly's wasn't exactly well, Fleur and Vito's really, really good, Helen and Gorka's, again, not that great. I feel like the last year where we really saw some proper wow show dances was 2020.
Yeah.
Oh, Maisie show dance.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. But I still say, even now, that even with the mistake, choreographically, Ellie and Vito's show dance, I think, is one of the best show dances we've ever seen on Strictly.
Absolutely. And that was a very good save, because that could have ended very, very badly.
Yeah.
I was going to say, it makes me sad because I want to love it so much. Like, I love Jennifer Lopez. Like, love.
Oh, she's an icon.
I wasn't a fan of it. I know, but I do feel like last year Ellie and Vito was going to win from so far forward.
Yeah,
I did as well. I just got a vibe that I was like, the public are backing this couple, no question.
My mum is so excited to see to go and see Cluedo 2. That my mum and my aunt are going to see, because they saw the first Cluedo, the first play of it, loved it that much they booked Cluedo 2, and they were like, and then they announced that Ellie was in the cast like a year after they booked tickets, but then they never announced or made any form of like post of who the rest of the cast were.
Right.
And they're not big social, like they're not big Instagram users, so they've still got no idea who's playing the rest of the parts.
Right, okay.
It doesn't have an Instagram page either, so they're like, we don't even know who we're looking for.
That's unfortunate,
but,
because it's yeah.
Either way, it'll be a good show. Everybody says it's fab.
Yes.
Let's vote.
Can I give an honest opinion? I don't want to vote. Sorry, were you going to say so? Were you going to say something? I mean, I'm annoyed because the official Strictly page haven't saved the showdown, so we can't base this off views if there's a tie. But there's three of us, we won't get a tie anyway. I'm gonna say Jason.
Ethan.
Angelina. Right, Ethan.
I'm gonna go Harry.
Oh. Wow.
I get the decide because I've not voted yet.
Okay. What? Who are you voting for?
Jason.
I was gonna say, I had a feeling you were gonna go that way.
Yeah. Oh God, I did not want to vote on that last bit. That was horrible.
Neither.
I mean, again, I loved Chelsea. I've got to say, I loved Chelsea, but I just didn't like her show dance that much, and that's another reason why I'm gutted that she went. But she was an absolutely fantastic dancer as well, and I felt like she was a lot more well-rounded in the ballroom and Latin in a way that some of the boys weren't that year. But yeah it's weird because Harry had two in the semi-finals. Harry had two really exceptional dances, and both she and Jason had one dance that they didn't do so well on, and then the second dance which they really excelled on. Yeah. So yeah, and both of them got perfect scores before Harry did. So, but yeah, again, it was a very tough year to decide that year, and yeah, but I do think at the end of the day, Harry fully deserved to take that win without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, and I think he actually deserves more credit. I feel like he's quite an underrated winner.
Definitely.
Yes.
But I feel like he deserves more hype.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I will also say this as well. The one thing that I did appreciate about Chelsea getting through to the final two was that we got to see a rumba that scored higher than just 8s and 9s, even though it wasn't one of the best technical rumbas that we've ever seen on the show. So yeah, but it was an amazing series that year, and I liked that it was very unpredictable to call because we had Harry, Jason, and Chelsea at the top three, and then just behind them we had Holly, and then slightly on a level below that we had Alex, who was sort of trying to break the mold, but she got stuck on a level for a while. Yeah. But it was, as well, it wasn't the most competitive series that we've ever seen, but it wasn't the least either. Yeah. So, yeah.
Who's the next couple gonna be?
I will let you know later on during the week, but I just need to let you guys know the winner before we start, before we finish up.
That'll be a good idea. Let's have the winner.
So,
drum roll.
This week's winner is, drum roll please, Jason Donovan.
Way.
Just on those last two dances, he stole those final 2 points. But get this, the scores are the exact same between these guys as they were for Faye and Ashley. It's 7-5. So, yeah, this is This is pretty interesting. I think these Strictly verses are going to be a lot closer than I realised they're going to be. But
I
yeah.
was like, it's weird because I much preferred Harry, and I much choose to go watch back Harry's dances. But I think, like, obviously, Jason started stronger. And I'd say Jason started substantially stronger.
Yeah.
It's again the J word. You know, it's a thing. You can't dread it, run from it. The J arrives all the same.
And I do prefer Harry to the other boy band girl, Adio, the one with.
Oh, Jay McGuinness, yeah.
I would say the only two dances of Jay's that I actually like are Tango and Rumba.
Fair enough. But yeah, that is it for this week. Thank you so much all for joining me once again. And
you're welcome. I enjoyed that.
I am honestly, I'm floored by how this week went, because I watched them back and I was like, there's a lot of dances of theirs that I don't like, and a lot of dances of theirs that I do.
Yeah.
So, but I will say this. This was in the period where we were sort of transitioning from the old Strictly into the new Strictly, and I felt like they were still getting used to it.
Yeah.
Whereas now we're able to blend a lot more of the concepts with the dances. So yeah.
Indeed.
Nice.
We just need to sort out whatever the bleep is happening with the couple's choice now.
Yeah. Well, thanks a lot for joining me, guys. Ash, I'll definitely get on to you and see if there is a way that we can combine both of them together.
Yeah, it'll be a big file, so I would say use WeTransfer and email them to him.
Right, okay. See you later, guys. I'll see you next week for our next couple, and I will let you know what is going on later in the week. Let's go!
Thank you. Bye.